All right, I'm excited about Thanksgiving football. Buffalo Bills at the Detroit Lions. So, who do I got winning this game? Everybody's like Buffalo. Nah, I got Detroit winning. See Barry back there. This is why. Detroit has grit, which I love how Dan Campbell emphasizes that culture and that grit within his team because they play with it. But it's not just because of grit, it's also because they're playing smarter. I got to give credit to First, I want to give credit to Ben Johnson and the way he's been calling the plays and helping and supporting Jared Goff. He's making Jared Goff look like a above average quarterback. He's an average quarterback at best. He'll have above average days, but he's making Jared Goff look pretty decent. I'm going to go ahead and say, Aaron Glenn, you are doing a great job the last three games. The defense has struggled, but given the adjustments that you guys have made, I know you guys got rid of the DB coach, and ever since then, you guys are 3-0. So something happened to where you got some better defensive continuity. Ever since we got rid of TJ Hockenson on offense, we've been clicking. We're 3-0. Minnesota's 2-1. So it looks like the trade is working out for Detroit thus far. I got Detroit winning by 3. I just feel like because of the grit and the buy-in from the players, along with them playing smarter, and along with our coordinators really blossoming and really connecting with our players and making them feel comfortable, especially with Ben Johnson, Jared Goff, those two have been working phenomenally. And I tell you what, our defense is playing better. Even though we got a lot of injuries, Jeff Okudah is going to be out of this one with a concussion. I know Pascal, the rookie, is going to be out for this game, but I still feel like Detroit is going to pull this one out by 3. I got 34-31. Detroit wins this game in a nail biter. I think the defense comes up with some big plays. I like what Aiden Hutchinson is doing. He's all over the field. He's not just getting sacks, but he's getting tackled. He's getting TFLs. He's getting interceptions. He has 2 on the season. I mean, this guy is balling. They made the right decision by bringing him in. Another big thing, we got Jameson Williams. He practiced this week. I know he's probably not going to play in the game, but that's awesome news. And yeah, I just got Detroit winning, man. I really think they're starting to hit their stride at the right time, and I think Buffalo, they're going to catch Buffalo napping. So my next team I want to talk about is Dallas Cowboys. Them boys are going to beat the Giants. I think the Giants, after Detroit put it on them, I think everybody's got the blueprint, and I think Detroit put it together, is that all you do, you sell out to stop Saquon Barkley, because I don't see nobody on the Giants that I'm afraid of at receiver. I mean, who do you see at wide receiver that you're afraid of with the Giants? I'll wait. They just had an injury for their rookie go down, and then you got overpaid Golladay, who hasn't done anything. I think he's got like 8 catches on the year. I mean, who on that offense scares you besides Saquon Barkley? Now, Jones will kill you with his legs. But other than that, I'm not afraid of Daniel Jones. If you slow down that run game with Saquon, I mean, Jones is just an average quarterback at best. Now, he'll use his legs and they'll do the zone read, but outside of that, I'm not afraid of the Giants. So I got the Cowboys winning today's game. I'll just say they're going to win by 10. I think the defense is going to be able to pin their ears back and come get Daniel Jones. I think I like the dynamic of Pollard and Ezekiel Elliott. I actually like Pollard starting. I think it's a good balance because what it does, it gives you a sense of versatility that Zeke doesn't have. But when Pollard's in the game, he could catch the ball, he could run the ball, he could get it on the a jet sweep if you want to move him around. He's so versatile in what you can do. I think they should do more packages with them both in the game. But obviously, I would like Pollard to start. I think it's a good change up, and then you bring Zeke in to go ahead and be that sledgehammer while you still got Pollard being that quick lightning type of guy. So I got Dallas winning, and yeah, they're gonna be right on the Eagles' heels. I actually think Dallas, I'm going to go ahead and say the Eagles will win the division, but I still think Dallas is right there with them, and it's going to come down to probably the last week of the season. So, I got my picks. I'm going to go ahead and switch. We're going to change gears for a minute. I want to go ahead and talk about the game of the century. Number 2 versus number 3. Ohio State, the Buckeyes, the University of Ohio State, or the Ohio State University, whatever you want to call them, plays the University of Michigan on Saturday at 12 noon. Obviously, Fox Big Noon will be there. College Game Day. This is going to be a huge game of epic proportions. Obviously, the winner, it will go on to the Big Ten Championship, and it will be pretty epic. And whoever wins this game will all but clinch a college football playoff berth. As a Michigan fan, it's hard to say, but I believe that Ohio State's going to get us by 3. They're going to beat us. I think because we don't know I don't know the status of Blake Corum. So it's hard for me to pick Michigan when I'm up in the air about the health of not only Blake Corum, but Donovan Edwards. Given that, also with the fact that we haven't been able to have a down-the-field attack with our passing game, we've gotten worse. I believe that J.J. McCarthy kind of took a step back in his development as a quarterback. I don't think he sets his feet when he throws the ball enough, and that's why the ball sails. And you could just see in the Illinois game that he struggled. And when he did when he did throw a good ball, we couldn't catch it. So there's not a lot of down-the-field chemistry between our quarterback and wide receiver. I think we've been able to connect with our tight ends, but I think we're going to need a little bit more to be able to beat Ohio State, and I just don't see it. So I got Ohio State winning the game by at least 10 points. It's going to be tough to watch because I'm a Michigan fan, and I really wish that the circumstances were different. But even if we were fully healthy, I still think it would have been a tall order, just given the fact that we haven't been able to throw the ball consistently downfield. So I got Ohio State winning by 10. Now, with that being said, I'm going to go ahead and get the keys to victory. Now, if Michigan were to win this game, I think the following needs to happen. They have to get pressure on C.J. Stroud. And I'm talking about putting the offensive tackle in C.J. Stroud's lap consistently. Now, that doesn't necessarily mean that you have to get to C.J. Stroud and sack him every time, Michigan defense, but you need to put pressure on him and make him uncomfortable in the pocket. And he has shown when he's uncomfortable with any quarterback, you throw out their timing, it's going to mess up the rhythm. They're not going to be able to complete the downfield passes that they want to complete. So, with that being said, the keys to victory for Michigan is to get pressure on C.J. Stroud. You got to cause some turnovers, I believe, on defense, or cause some turnovers or have a big play on special teams. You got to be able to get some points that are kind of hidden, right? You got to get some points that come unconventionally. So I think a defensive touchdown or a special teams score, a block punt, something to get you some momentum as you're going to be in the horseshoe on the road and they can't stand you up north. So that's what it is. I think in order for Michigan to win the game, they're going to have to be also ball control, be able to consistently move the chains methodically. And I don't know if we can do that given the fact that our running backs are hurt. I mean, it just pains me to say it, but I just don't see it. Unless, barring we have some big plays on special teams or defense. I love Mike Morris on defensive end, but I don't know. He's not Aiden Hutchinson, okay? So I don't see, and he's coming off an injury. He didn't play the last game, so he's going to be out of rhythm for a little bit, I think. So I just don't see us doing it. But those are the keys of victory for Michigan: ball control, being able to cause some turnovers and get some hitting points out there for special teams defense. Now, Ohio State, I think for them, they have to have some semblance of a run game to keep Michigan honest so they can be able to open up those passing lanes. Now, I do believe they're going to be able to get the ball to one of those two receivers. You got Marvin Harrison Jr., and then you got number 2, I want to say Ibuka. I don't want to mess up his name. Now, I do believe that C.J. Stroud is going to be able to get the ball to his receivers, and the keys for them is to have enough of a run game to be able to keep Michigan honest and be able to gash them if Michigan is playing more of a nickel look or a too high safety look. I think Ohio State, if they can run the ball, they'll definitely be able to throw the ball and open up those passing lanes. Because right now, if Ohio State just tries to become one-dimensional to throw the ball, it's really not a good look because it's going to allow Michigan's defensive ends to pin their ears back and come get the quarterback. So if Ohio State could just, any kind of run game that could just keep Michigan honest, I'm not saying you got to gash them, but you got to at least be able to get 4 or 5 yards, average of at least 4 yards a carry. I think Ohio State can win the game. And I also think short passes is an extension of the run game. So if you could do some bubbles, some quick tunnels, some screens, just some ways to get your playmakers the ball, I think you'll be fine. As far as the line of scrimmage, that's going to be a huge factor for Ohio State. Can you control the line of scrimmage? Now, you don't necessarily have to dominate the line of scrimmage, but you do have to be formidable versus a Michigan defensive line that is really, really good and a defense that's really solid and it has gap integrity. So for offensively, Ohio State, your linemen got to come to play and bring your hard hat. You definitely got to come. Also, specifically on defense, Ohio State, yes, your interior D-line got to come and bring it because Michigan's offensive line is arguably the best offensive line in college football. They already won the award last year. They're probably going to win it this year. So if Ohio State can at least neutralize some of those guys up front and stand their ground and hold pat, then yeah, I think they can do well. I think they can win the game for sure. In the Horseshoe at home, I think they're like a 7-point favorite. So I got Ohio State winning the game. I guess if I want to go ahead and throw a score out there, I'm going to go Ohio State 34, Michigan 27. It's going to be a good game. And just like when they were number 1 and number 2 in 2006, Ohio State came out on top. I think it's going to be the same case in this one where Ohio State will win the game and then they will go on to the Big Ten Championship where they're more than likely going to face Iowa. And I think they're going to tear Iowa a new one. So with that being said, this is how I think the college football playoff is going to play out. You're going to have, number 1, Georgia. They're going to take care of the rest of their games, and they're going to take care of LSU. Number 2, you're going to have Ohio State. Number 3, I'm going to go with, I don't think TCU is going to win both their games. I think they're going to lose one, so they're going to fall out of it. And then I think after that it's like LSU. I think USC is going to win their last 2 games, but they could trip up to Oregon. Honestly, man, I don't know, man. I really do believe that this is the season or this is the year you can actually consider putting 2 Big Ten teams in. And I know I'm a Michigan fan and I'm biased, but I just don't think USC, TCU, I don't want to see them in the college football playoff because USC defense is sharp and soft. And then you got TCU, who's been getting by the skin of their teeth. They on borrowed time. I don't think they're good enough. I truly believe it's going to be the 4 best teams in the country right now to me is Georgia, Ohio State, Michigan, and overall, I know they got 2 losses, but Alabama. They're the 4 best teams. But you can't put Alabama in with 2 losses. But to me, those are the 4 best teams in the country. I don't want to see USC get tore out the frame because they don't have a defense. Oh, did you hear that? Oh, I think somebody just scored on USC again. Oh, touchdown. I don't want to see that. TCU, no. I ain't drinking the Kool-Aid. Nope. I know it's purple. Nope. I ain't drinking it. Clemson, we ain't going there. LSU, they're not going to beat Georgia. I don't see it. They could, though, but they're not. I don't know. Those are 4 best teams to me. You can't put them in the college football playoff, but It is what it is. But those are my predictions. Comment below, subscribe, like, share. Peace out.